Hi, everybody. How are we on this magical day of transformation and transmutation and all of that good stuff? So, yes, I did a post before. Some of you would have seen it. I wait till a few people come on. But anyway, I did a post before about stepping through your grief, stepping through the stuff that you think you've actually sorted in your body and you haven't. So we'll just wait till a couple of people come on. But I thought, I'm actually just going to go there about domestic violence and abuse and, neglect and all of that stuff. Hi, Wendy, and all of that stuff and how it affects us, whether it's happened as a child or whether it's happened as an adult. 90% of the time, if it's happened as a child, we keep attracting it as adults. And so I've just come through a process where my ex-husband died on the 1010 portal, and he was a very violent man. And this isn't about blaming him, because I was actually equally as violent. I just didn't realise until we came together that my anger was actually equal to his. So his came out in a, physically aggressive way, but I could, with words and things like that. So what he taught me was to find my darkness. What he taught me was to go into all of those places of where I was denying myself, my anger, my boundaries, all of that sort of stuff, to go into the valley of darkness within myself, because my darkness actually equaled his. And, people don't like sort of admitting that, when someone comes into your life, we're actually of equal energy until one transcends and moves beyond. But the wounds that we carry are equal. So it was a very, very volatile relationship right from the start, and it was passion driven. You have that chemistry, and you think that's love, and it's not. It's definitely not when it's not built on solid foundations. So yes, and I've just come through this process. He died. I had a dream, and I told people a couple of months ago, that he came to me in a dream, and he asked if he had been forgiven. He said he'd had a heart attack, and he wanted to know that he'd been forgiven. And I said, yeah, I have. And he wanted to know if the kids had. And it's like, well, I don't know that, but I would say so. And then he died like on the 1010 portal. So, and the 1010 portal was 2 years exactly to the day that I wrote the chapter in the book that became a #1 bestseller, All Masters Were Once Disasters. And I wrote a poem in there about violation and all of the stuff, like about rising above all of that stuff. So I actually felt like we parted like 24 years ago. I actually felt that I had dealt with all of the anger and the rage and everything that we carry, because I went through a massive, as you do, process of literally rebuilding myself from bottom to top, because I was so literally smashed physically and mentally, emotionally, on every level, absolutely smashed. But there was always a part in me, and this is something that a lot of you can relate to, that no matter what was happening at the time, there was always a part of me that knew that there's a bigger purpose for it, and that no matter what happened, no matter how bad it got, there would always be an angel. There would always be someone that would come along and like give you a hand up so you can move to the next level. And also too, that it was all for a purpose. And so it's also set me on my journey of self-discovery. And I wouldn't be the person I was today if I hadn't have had that experience with that person. And it's taken me since Friday, I've been through this massive process of rage and grief and anger. And like I had white, cold rage, absolutely white, cold rage that I couldn't even, and I remember a time where I actually felt that with him, and I could see how people could actually murder other people, because I was pushed right to that edge of anger and rage. So I've come through this process this weekend, just allowing it. It's been a conscious process, allowing the sadness and allowing the violation, like being a mother and, being sexually violated and all of that sort of stuff, and the disgust. Again, that was stuff from childhood as well too, because we attract, as in our adult lives, what we experienced as children. So I realized through this process that my inner child was finally safe, and my teenager that was violated was safe, but the actual woman, the mother inside of me, still didn't feel quite safe. And that's what I've realized in this process. So I wrote a poem at the beginning of the process, which I will read to you, because it just affects us. And I know so many people are going to be able to relate to this. And we actually need to realize that we need to come into this place of just absolute it's done. You know, we need to come into this place of peace because the world's just about to erupt. Okay, so we've got world peace everywhere, which is great on one level. But then what is going to happen after that is when people actually discover the truth. So obviously we're probably going to go into lockdown soon. Hi, Andrina. Thank you for holding my through my tsunami waves of, whew. But that anger and everything's going to come out, especially when what has been done to the children has been it's going to be revealed, all of that stuff. So there's going to be uprisings of energy. You can already see it around the world. And that's that unexpressed anger. It's all of that abuse. It's all of the violence. It's all of the neglect and the reject and the abandonment and the persecute, all of the stuff that we as humanity have carried within us for generations. So we're doing this for all of humanity. We're breaking those cycles of abuse for all of the ancestors. So I'll read you the poem that I wrote in the beginning of the process, because it has been a process, and again, it's been a conscious process. Hang on, I just had it here. So I'll write you the poem, and then we're going to get from everybody here, you know, how is it affecting you now in your life, whether there's been violence or you know, domestic violence, if there's been abuse, how it affects you, how it's shaped you as a person, you know, because there's just so much stuff that the gifts that come out of us, once we can actually see the gifts of this, we can put things to rest. And so I'm just finding this here. You know, we can actually put things to rest inside of us, and not just inside of us, but also for our kids and for ourselves, so that we can actually move forward into this time of amazingness that we're just literally minutes away from. Like, I can feel it. Like this week, today, apparently the astrological alignment and everything that's happening now, today is the day that it's all shifting, you know, like all of the things. So if we can leave this stuff in this day and move into the new world in our absolute amazingness, that's what's going to happen. So I'll read you this poem, and if I can find it here, I had it here all lined up, but it disappeared. And again, it's just because I know that so many people will be able to relate to it. And then we're going to go through, like, you know, write in the comment how has being abused, like domestic violence, you know, like I used to say, I wish he'd hit me, because sometimes the word would hurt more, and then he would, you know, and then he'd hit me, so I'd get the bruises as well, and then I'd have all the mental stuff that would come up as well too. I was equally as bad, so I'm not blaming. This is about, you know, total responsibility for me, like in my journey, and for honouring this person that came into my life that has changed me, has brought me to who I am, and finally getting to that place of peace. So it's taken me 24 years. So it's been a big process. So it's just sort of been amplified over the weekend. So if I can find this thing here, I had it here all sorted. Hang on, sorry, I'll just go here for a minute. So while I'm doing this, while I'm getting this ready, maybe if you want to get yourselves a cushion, you know, because I'm going to take you on a process, and I'm going to get you to scream, because we actually need to release that energy from our body. We actually need to free up ourselves and free up our energy. You need to identify where you're holding it in your body, and we're going to let out a fucking humongous scream. So go and get yourselves a cushion. Maybe a drink of water if you want to as well too, because, you know, like, if we can clear this, we're clearing it for the consciousness of humanity. So hi Helen, hi Julie. So so I'll read you the poem while you're getting the thing. So I found it here. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you would strike me down, and still I rose. Love was a battlefield where my soul remembered its strength. Your iron fist taught me boundaries. Your velvet glove taught me lies. Between them, I learned truth, that softness is not weakness, and that power need not wound. I've walked through fire, through shattered glass and silence, through the nights where my heartbeat was the only sound that kept me alive. I've gathered every fragment, kissed every scar into wisdom, and I now wear my past like armour made of light. The iron fist is mine now, forged of sovereignty, shaped by self-respect. The velvet glove is mine too, woven of compassion, stitched with forgiveness for the woman I once was, who stayed too long, who loved too hard, who learned to rise. You are gone and I am free. The chains have melted in the fire of my becoming. I bless the lessons, I release the pain, and I breathe into life the woman who remembers who she is. Iron and velvet, fire and grace, a living testament to love transformed. So that was the title of my thing, was like, if your abuser dies and you say excellent, good job, does that make you a bad person? And actually, no, it doesn't. And then it was like, okay, well, if I'm the mother of these children and he's the father of my children, and I have that fear, and it's like, no, it means I'm being real, and also too, by him passing, he's taking generations of huge amount of stuff within his family lineage. My two beautiful children, we've broken that cycle. Like, my two beautiful children are the most amazing gift that I could have as a result of this, and also who I've become as a person. So I've come to this place of grace with him now. So if you were to tune into your body, and I would to say to you, so say someone hit you, what would be the first emotion that come up? So obviously, like, the shock. And it could be with their words as well too, because you can be hit as much with your words as with fists. And where would be the first place you would put your hand on your body, and inside of that, underneath that shock, was like the hurt, and so just imagine now you've got this ball of energy on that place in the body, like it could be a shoulder, because all of these aches and pains in our body, these are where the emotions are stored. So just go intuitively to put your hand where these emotions are being held. So maybe it's your knee, and imagine that you're pulling out, it's like a ball of string, you're pulling out anger, and you're pulling out shame, and you're pulling out guilt, and you're pulling out blame, and you're pulling out unworthiness and not being enough and being violated, feeling dirty, that feeling of dirty, no matter what you do. And when that happens as a child, you may not understand as an adult why you feel dirty, because you were violated as a child. Where in that body do you feel that dirty? I feel really dirty. I feel unclean. Or where do you have that body shame, that's maybe come from abuse? And again, it doesn't just have to be in childhood. This happens as adults too, like you may have been violated as an adult. Where does that body shame sit? How has it affected you, in your relationships? How's it affected you in your sexuality? How's it affected you in your sensuality? Have you been able to give yourself totally and wholly, or have you held yourself back? So these are the things to start looking at. And if you were to, think about the person that was your biggest abuser, like, just imagine that person's sitting in front of you now, and what are the feelings? That just take a deep breath, and we'll just take a deep breath first. Just take a deep breath. Just really, really breathe it in, and just hold it, and just let it go. And just drop your roots from your feet deep down to the core of the earth. Feel yourself connecting with your crystal at the core of the earth. And then as you're breathing in again, imagine you're breathing it up through the roots. You're just breathing up through the earth, all the way into the soles of your feet, all the way through your body, and up and out at the top of the head and down around you. And now imagine that you're putting that person in front of you, and just think about the words and the words that are coming up. It's like the feelings that you had, like maybe you were being smacked or you were being beaten, it's like, how did that make you feel? Where did you shut down in your body? Like, what were the emotions that came up, and how did you hide that? Because we were really good at hiding it. I remember I owned a healing center, was smoking cigarettes, was pregnant with a black eye. Can you see that? Like so where are you hiding these things in the body? Maybe you've had issues with your heart, you've been disappointed and you've been broken, and you've been, maybe you're such an empath and you just feel everybody's energies and you can't decide what's yours and what's other people's, So imagine you're just pulling this energy out of the body, and you can see like roots coming out. You can see like the anger and the rage and the sadness and the self-doubt and the not being enough and hating yourself, that self-loathing. So many of us carry self-loathing, and we don't realize. Where does that sit in your body? So just imagine now, like, just imagine that you're sitting in the energy of these emotions, like maybe that person, when you're growing up said you were fat or you were ugly, and you've carried that with you. So even though you may be attractive on the outside, you may still have that fat, ugly child on the inside. You know, where are these wounded parts of you? Where are they sitting in the body? Where are they sitting in your energetic field? And just take a deep breath and just breathe into it. Just feel the feelings in the body. Like, feel all of these feelings. Feel that rage, feel that sadness, feel that humiliation, feel that shame, feel it all in your body. Feel that. When somebody criticizes you and they put you down, how does that make you feel? Feel that shrinking in the body. When somebody gets angry, they've got a trigger temper and they just go off all the time, how does it affect you? Well, it means that you're always hypervigilant. You're always waiting for that person. You know, you've always got this energy of like, and you're not even aware of it. You've always got this energy of like bracing yourself for that horrible word or that horrible anger that comes at you. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? Does it make you want to shrink? Does it make you want to, you know, get angry back at them, but you're afraid to because of the consequences? Just feel these feelings in the body. And I'm just going to give you some compassion, and I just want you to repeat this after me. And then we're going to scream. We're going to scream into the cushion, and we're just going to let some of it go. Because once we let go of this rage and this anger, so many people don't realize how angry we actually are. Like, I always thought before I met my ex-husband that I was cruisy. You know, I was like chill. I was passive aggressive. Like, I was so passive aggressive and so manipulative and so play the victim to get what I want, like all of these things, you know. So he's taught me to see those things in me. All of the things that we see in that person, it's actually, we've got to look at the mirror in ourselves. Where was I manipulating? Where was I creating the issues? Where was I the one that was igniting things, you know? So where are you feeling all of these things in the body? So I just want you to imagine now you're pulling all of that out, like you're freeing your body of it. And imagine that you've got your little inner child standing there beside you as the adult. You've got your higher self there, and you've got that part of you that was violated. It could have been the woman, you know, the mother that, you know, was violated and became pregnant, or, that part of you that was raped, or that part of you that was abandoned, you know, like that part of you that had to bring your children up on your own, and that anger and that resentment and all of that stuff that you've carried. And I'm just going to say this, and you can repeat it out loud, or you can just say it inwardly. But this is to give compassion to those parts of you that are wounded. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry you've been hurt so many times. I'm so sorry their words broke your heart. I'm so sorry the physical violence broke your body. I'm so sorry they touched you there. I'm so sorry that they thought it was okay to do that. I'm so sorry your innocence was stolen. I'm so sorry your femininity or your masculinity was stolen. I'm so sorry there was no care for your well-being. I'm so sorry you tried to please everybody to gain their approval, and nothing you ever did was ever enough. I'm so sorry you still do this. I'm so sorry when you do this, you always end up disappointed because nobody gives back to you what you give out. And I'm so sorry you do this from a place of empty, not a place of plenty. I'm so sorry you became so critical because you were criticized growing up. And that because you became so critical, you were seeking perfection, which you can never find. So you're always going to be disappointed. First of all, in yourself, because you're always raising the bar. You're always trying to jump through hoops for that perfection that never comes. And for the people that you attract into your life, you expect perfection. So you're always disappointed because no one can ever match up to your standards. No one can ever be that perfect person for you. There's always something wrong. There's always that one thing that you're going to criticize and that you can knock them down in flames with, because that's what's happened to you. Where does that sit? The critical voice. That part of you that criticizes yourself all of the time. I'm not enough. I can't do this. I need to be more. I need to do more. I need to have more. I need to have all of the flashy things, so I'm more important. It's bullshit. So what about the victim? You know, the part in you that become the woe is me. We all do this. We all have all of these parts in us. The victim. Oh, this is happening, and oh, well, why is it happening to me? Why does it always happen to me? Because you keep saying it's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. So these places where we manipulate, we become the victim to get what we want, or we become the intimidator. We make other people become the victim. We've got to own all of these parts of ourselves. And what about the part of you just switches off? Yep, just disassociates from everything. So you walk through your life numb. You're not feeling anything. You're not experiencing anything. You keep everybody at arm's length because you're so afraid of getting hurt that you've got a big ice cube around you. Let it go. Imagine that ice cube's melting right now. You don't need it. The only person you're hurting is yourself because you're not loving yourself. And no one's going to love any of us until we love ourselves. And if you want to be loved in the way you want to be loved, love yourself that way. For you are the love that you seek. So letting go of that now. That being numb to life, not feeling anything, being disconnected. Or what about the person that can't decide, the person that sits on the fence, oh, I can't decide. Oh, no, well, maybe somebody else will decide for me, or maybe somebody's going to come and rescue me, or maybe someone's going to come and make me better. Someone on the outside of me is going to fix this. I'm going to have a knight in shining armor is going to come along and going to make my life better. Well, guess what? Not going to happen. So acknowledge that part of yourself. We all have it. And what about the part of you that's maybe been dishonest, because we can tend to blame everybody else, and, the part of us that lies, because everybody lies. Every single person on the planet lies. And if you say that you don't lie, you're lying, because every single person on the planet lies. So that part that's lied and manipulated, maybe you've done things that you felt guilty about, all of those things that, that have been hidden in the back burner. I don't want anyone to find out in case they think I'm a fraud, or they think I'm a thief, or whatever it is, doesn't matter. What if you have been a thief? Acknowledge that part. What if you have been what if you have been the intimidator? What if you've been the one that's been the controller and the thing? Own it. Own it. Own these parts of you. And what about the empath, the one that is so sensitive, that's got no boundaries and got no ability to say no, and they're just so soft and yielding and beautiful, but no boundaries. So people suck your energy dry. So you have all of the energy vampires that come in, they suck your energy dry, and you're just absolutely depleted, but you keep on giving, you keep on loving, and they keep sucking it, and you just end up being so depleted. Own it. So we're going to give some beautiful acknowledgement to all of these parts soon too, because what about the part of you that's been abandoned? The part of you that was abandoned as a child, and you keep attracting, the same disassociated narcissists, or, you keep attracting the same people in your life that are going to abandon you because you expect it, because it's happened in your life. At some point it's happened. So you expect this to happen. And so this is why we attracted all the part of you that's been rejected. So you might have someone comes into your life, but you push them away so that before they push you away, because that fear of rejection, so you push everybody in your life away, and you wonder why nobody wants to be in your life, because you push them all away. And that means that we're also abandoning ourselves, and we're also rejecting ourselves. So there's all of these different aspects of us. There's so many parts of us, like the part that has been violated, and maybe it's just that feeling of dirtiness, like, oh my God, that disgusting, repulsive feeling of like you inside your body. And it's like, at some part, like maybe we put on a lot of weight to protect ourselves so we're not attractive anymore. And so as a way of pushing people away, because we're not loving and honoring our body, and we're not, because we feel violated, we feel dirty. So I'm going to give all of these parts, and if there's any other parts, the parts of you that doesn't trust, well, where are you not being trustworthy? Well, because if you don't trust love, you're not trusting to love yourself. So this is what we're coming to in this place of human consciousness at this time. We're coming into this place of awareness and embodiment, owning all of these parts, loving all of these parts. Because on the other side of it, we've got our beautiful, creative, magical self. We've got our intuitive self. We've got our powerful, loving, fierce, courageous selves. So we're just going to give those parts of us. Just imagine that they're lining up now, all of these parts as we call them in. So we'll start with the victim. I'm so sorry you're sad. I'm so sorry you've always been sad and you haven't known how not to be because you never felt safe. I'm so sorry your sadness is your default program. The places of despair, the places of depression, because you haven't had the tools and the skills to be able to pull yourself out of there. I'm so sorry you were sad. I'm so sorry you were depressed. I'm so sorry you were anxious, always worried about what was coming around the corner, always hypervigilant. I'm so sorry you couldn't just relax and trust. I'm so sorry you didn't receive the love and nurturing that you needed. And now we're talking to the disconnector, the disassociator. I'm so sorry you can't stay in your body because you don't feel safe. I'm so sorry it's easier for you to observe the world rather than to participate, so you keep yourself on the outside. I'm so sorry you're so cold in the heart because you're so terrified of being hurt. I'm so sorry you have this big stone around your heart so no one can get close to you. I'm so sorry you lock yourself away inside of yourself, but you don't take yourself to those beautiful places. You take yourself to those places of condemnation, the places of not being enough, of being unworthy, of what's wrong with me. Why am I doing this? Why is this happening to me? What's wrong with me? Why does nobody love me? And it's because we're having these internal thoughts that these things are happening. I'm so sorry you didn't know how to stay in your body. I'm so sorry what you experienced made you disassociate. I'm so sorry you don't trust yourself to connect truly and fully. I'm so sorry you don't feel safe in your body. I'm so sorry you don't feel safe to open your heart. I'm so sorry you're scared that you're going to be hurt, so you have to keep this big brick around your heart. I'm so sorry you couldn't let it go until today. Now let's talk to the critical voice. Let's talk to the part that has to criticize and condemn. I'm so sorry you will never be perfect. I'm so sorry you can't see the perfection in your imperfection. I'm so sorry no one will ever live up to your expectations. I'm so sorry you're continually disappointing yourself. And I'm so sorry you're continually disappointed by all of those people around you because they can never reach your impossible benchmarks that you put there. I'm so sorry that you don't see the perfection is in the imperfection. And in the word I'm imperfect is I'm perfect. I'm so sorry you can't see that people don't need to live up to your expectations, and they're not yours to control or to condemn with your anger, with your rage, to keep them feeling small because you're feeling small on the inside. I'm so sorry you just can't own all of those parts of you and accept all of those that are around you who love you. And I'm so sorry you can't love the way that you are wanting to be loved, because you're always wanting to move to a higher level of perfection that you will never ever rise. Instead of seeking perfection, seek the perfection in what is. Seek the perfection in those that are around you, and seek the perfection within yourself of knowing that in every moment when we try to be more, to do more, to be more loving, that is the perfection. Look at nature and see the perfection of nature. For all of those that have been physically violated, physically beaten to a pulp, to the wounded woman in all of you, I'm so sorry that happened. I'm so sorry you were so disrespected as a woman, a wife, and a mother. I'm so sorry you loved for so long. I'm so sorry you loved so hard. I'm so sorry it broke you. I'm so sorry they couldn't see the scars on the inside. I'm so sorry the bruises on the outside covered all of that. I'm so sorry you had to experience that trauma, the humiliation, the deprivation, and all of that that would keep you small. I'm so sorry you were violated. I'm so sorry your sacred femininity was destroyed. I'm so sorry he raped you. I'm so sorry he raped you repeatedly, thinking that it was his right because you were his possession. I'm so sorry it took you so long to leave. I'm so sorry you were terrified for so long of the consequences of leaving, and you felt trapped, and that there was nowhere to go. And if you did go somewhere, he would find you, because he always did. I am so sorry this affected every member of your family. I'm so sorry this was such a huge ancestral wound that you came to heal. I'm so sorry it was so violent. I'm so sorry you were so terrified. I'm so sorry you felt that in every fibre of your being. I'm so sorry when you retaliated, the consequences were worse. I'm so sorry it took you that strength and that power to finally stand up and rise and to walk away, to reclaim the beauty of who you are, the power of who you are, to protect your children and to protect the future generations from this cycle of abuse that has gone on for way too long. I'm so sorry you had to go through so much to get to this point. I'm so sorry there were things that were unforgivable that you still find difficult. I'm so sorry it took you so long to remember how beautiful and powerful and amazing you are, and that he was weak and cowardly, and that he wanted your light, and that he was possessed by the demons of the dark, and you knew this. Be proud at how bright your light is and how much you've come through, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Be proud of how tall you stand, how confident you are, how beautiful you are, and your knowledge of being the most beautiful woman. Feel now the power of being supported, the power now of having the freedom to release all of that which you've carried in your body for so long, all of the rage and the anger and the deprivation and the humiliation, all of that. I'm so sorry you didn't realize until sooner how beautiful you are, how powerful you are, and what you have done, not just for your family, but for humanity. You have broken ancestral chains going back generations, and you have come to this place of peace and love. Honor yourself for that, dear hearts. Honor the journey it has taken to get to where you are, to become who you've become, and all of that, of the goodness and the light that it has brought to you. See now the gifts of resilience that you have as a result of this. See now your flexibility and your ability to pivot in all situations. See now your ability to read the room, to trust your intuition, to know when energy's off and to know when energy's being directed at you that's not, and to be able to have the ability now to put boundaries in place. See now how magnificent you are, because in spite of all of this, you stand in your truth with your heart wide open, still wearing your heart on the sleeve and knowing that that's okay. Knowing that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's a strength. Knowing that it's okay to ask for help, because sometimes you've been on your knees before you would ask for help. See how far you've come now. See the person that you have become. And imagine now that person that was battered or abused or neglected or the victim or whatever. Imagine that person standing in front of you now. And that you're putting your hands on her heart or his heart. And you're just looking deep into your eyes. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. You are free now. You're free to stand in your power, to stand in your light, to reclaim all parts of you. You are free to be the divine feminine. You are the divine mother. You are the divine goddess. You are the high priestess. You are all of these things. You are the sister, the friend, the lover, the wife. See how beautiful you are. And see now this part of you looking into your eyes, finally having some understanding. Tell that part of you that's been battered and bruised, you're safe now. I'm here, and this will not ever happen again. And I'm so proud of you for how far you've come in this journey because of this. I'm so proud that in spite of it all, you continue to rise and to inspire others because of your journey. You are the most divine, exquisite being of light, and I love you. I see you, I hear you, and I'm so proud of you. So imagine now that essence, that part of you now, she's just flooding with light. You know, that part of you that's been beaten and broken and wounded, in whichever form it's come, whether it's been physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, it's all the same thing. And just see all of the scars now that she's carried. And just imagine now that you're tending to these scars. You're just sending absolute pure light into all of these wounds that she's carrying. It's going right into the marrow of her bones. because this isn't just for this generation. See now all of the females in your lineage, all of the women that have been repressed and beaten and raped and made to feel small because their light has been so bright, and all of the emotions that they haven't been able to express. So see now this energy as we send it back through the female lineage, all the way back through time now, setting all of the women of all lineages free. Free now to step into the power, to have a voice, to be the healer, to be the light worker, to be whatever it is she chooses to be. And now I want you to imagine that we're doing the same thing with the male side. That we're seeing that masculine side that's been repressed, or that's been violent, or that's been angry, or it's been an alcoholic, or has been a pedophile. It's gone through the generations, and they haven't been able to open their hearts. They haven't been able to experience the fullness of love, because they've come through wars, and they've come through coldness, and they've come through dark, dark ages. So the opportunity to open into the light of their hearts wasn't there. So see now all of the males and females of both lineages now, see all of their hearts opening to love. See now all of the chains of all of the ancestors of all of humanity now. See them all now dissolving, the chains around the necks, around the ankles, around the wrists, the chains of persecution, of violation, of sacrifice, and all of the disgusting things that have happened through humanity, all of the violence, all of the pillaging, all of the stuff. See it now dissolving and transmuting into the highest frequency of light. See now the divine masculine, feminine, through all of the lineages, all of the males and females now stepping into their light and their power, claiming their voices, claiming their gifts, claiming their knowledge. And have this sense now that humanity is shaking free of all of this anger and all of this rage and everything that we've carried inside of us. And we're just going to help this along. We're going to get our cushions, and we're going to take a really deep breath in when I count to 3, and we're going to hold our breath in, and we're going to feel all of these emotions. We're going to feel all of that rejection, the abandonment, and all of those things. And then I'm going to get you to scream into your cushion, like scream like there's no tomorrow. So now I want you to imagine all of the things. It's like we're putting them in the center of the circle now. Imagine all of the rage. See, there's a flame burning in the center of the circle of all of us that are here. See all of the rage there. Feel it in your body. Feel it building up in your body. Feel that rage that you've carried in your cells, in your atoms, in your DNA. And just take a big, 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 deep breath in. Just really deep, deep breath, and just hold it. Feel that rage now wherever it is in your body. Feel that disappointment. Feel that humiliation. Feel that shame, that guilt, that blame. All of the stuff that's been programmed into you. You're not worthy. You're not enough. You're not good enough. You can't do this. Who are you to shine your light? You're disgusting. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're ugly. You're stupid. Feel those in the body. Feel that. How does that feel? You're not good enough. You're not perfect. All of that. Feel it building up in your body. Feel it and feel it and feel it. Just feel it building up in your body. And I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, you're going to release it into your cushion, or if you can freely scream, feel free to do so. And I'd highly recommend screaming, because this needs to be released from the body. This needs to be released from the consciousness of humanity. So on the count of 3, you're still holding your breath. 1, 2, 3, and I want you to scream now into your cushion. Scream like there's no tomorrow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Like, ah! Does it feel good? It's fucking awesome. So just feel now the release in the body. Feel yourself now. Just taking some deep breaths through your nose. Just breathing out really, really gently. And just feel now a place of peace coming into your body. Feel now a place of acceptance and self-love. Feel now all of the cells and the atoms and the DNA in your body now flooding with light. Feel now the freedom of all of the ancestors. all of the chains of repression, of depression, of anxiety, of lack, all of the burdens that have been put by design for humanity. And I want you to imagine now that there's a time in your life where you felt really loved and you felt really supported. And you just felt like you were absolutely at peace with who you were, and everything in the world feels right. And again, I want you to take in a big deep breath, and this time imagine it's like a straw and you're pursing your lips and you're going to hold this breath. So we just take this big deep breath in. So just, and just holding that breath. And just bring this feeling of feeling at peace all the way through your body. Imagine it's coming in through the top of your head while you're holding your breath. Keep holding your breath. It's coming in through the top of your body. It's coming down through your face, through your neck, your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your hands, your fingers, all of the way down the torso, all the way down through the feet, this beautiful light energy. And feel yourself amplifying that. And feel that part of you that's been battered or violated. Feel that part now coming into a place of peace. And just put your hands on your heart and allow that part of you to merge into you. Giving her all of the love, or him all of the love and support and the nurturing, just that sense, you are safe. You are free now. Just feel this energy. And now just going to let that breath out with a big sigh. Just and I want you to imagine now that we're stepping forward into your future. And that future is right here, right now. So I want you to imagine now we're calling in your future self. This is the part of you that's already fully integrated. This is the part of you that is just absolutely free. She's happy, she's joyful, she's confident, she's abundant. Everything in your life's flowing really well because you don't have any of those mind things anymore. I'm not good enough. All of that stuff, it's gone now. And I want you to imagine that your future self is coming forward from the future and putting her hands out to you now. Putting her hands out to you and feel yourself holding her hands and feel the energy of your future self. And I want you to look into her eyes and I want you to feel the love that's there, that self-love that she's cultivated over a very long period of time. And when she has self-love, she has love for all of those around her. See her having beautiful, harmonious relationships. She's standing in the fullness of who she is, sharing her gifts, whatever that may be, same as the male. Whatever those gifts are, see yourself in your fully enlightened, fully ascended, whole, healed, and healthy self. And just feel that now. Feel how that is for you. And I just want you to look into your future self's eyes and ask if there's a message for you right now. Maybe it's just trust. Maybe it's just let go. Maybe it's forgive. Feel the energy of that message, whatever it is. Feel it coming into your cells, your atoms, and your DNA. And now feel your future self merging with you. Feel that energy coming into the here and now. It's like you've stepped through this portal. You've left all of those parts of you behind. And now you're ready to embrace all of the newness of what's coming. All of that which you came here for, this beautiful new world that you've come to co-create. So imagine now that beautiful new world that we're all co-creating. You know, we're all in our hearts and everybody's sharing their gifts and everybody's doing what makes their heart sing. Everybody's free to travel, to do whatever they want. Everyone's so abundantly blessed. All of the waterways are pure, the food's pure, the children are growing up, they're safe, and they're learning right from the young age about their intuition and their body, and they're coming together with beautiful, loving parents, and the family dynamics come back together, and it's even more beautiful than it's ever been before. See all of the beautiful communities that we're going to co-create. All of the beautiful work and the craftsmanship and everyone coming together, sharing their skills and gifts. And it's not about money. It's not about greed. It's about co-creation and cooperation. So see all of that. Have a feeling of all of that. Everybody's so abundantly blessed. You can drive the car you want. You can have the house you want. But you probably find that those things aren't quite so important now because you've just got the freedom to be. See yourself traveling wherever you want to go. You're absolutely just in this amazing place. So that, dear hearts, is what we're coming into. And by letting go of all of that which we've carried, stepping through into this portal, we're bringing forth the golden dawn. We're bringing forth the new earth, because that's what we came here to co-create. So this is the bridge now. So if you're ready to walk over that bridge, let's all walk all over that bridge together. We've got our arms linked around humanity. Everybody's hearts are fully aligned, fully awake. All of the children are safe and thriving. All of humanity is safe and thriving. And all of the darkness is gone. So, dear hearts, imagine there's a beautiful golden bridge right in front of all of us. And as one, we are walking across this golden bridge. We're walking across the divide. We're trusting in the universe. We're trusting in all of that which is good. And we're leaving behind of us all of that which no longer serves us. There's no more fear. There's no more self-doubt. There's no more lack. There's just a place of peace and oneness. So feel now this energy as we move forward together over this bridge on this most fortuitous day, honouring the endings of the old selves, the endings of those around us that have passed, the endings of all of those people in our lives that no longer can come with us on this journey, just loving and blessing and honouring each and every one of them. Forgiving everything, because forgiving doesn't make it okay. It just lets the energy go, because we came here for giving. We came here to be giving. And we came here to be kind humans. So bringing that kindness into yourself first. Feel this energy of the new world as we co-create it with our thoughts. Sending that energy way forward into the future. Seeing all of the ascension of humanity. All of the beautiful education systems and the communities and the higher consciousness that we're all living in. See all of that now, because we all came to be a part of the co-creation of that. Remember who you are. You are a divine, magnificent being of light. You are made in the likeness of God. You know your worth, so claim it. You know your truth, so speak it. You know your power, so own it. So feel this energy now as you're coming back into your body. Feel this peace inside of you now. Feel now the peace of all of the ancestors. Feel this peace across all of earth. Feel this peace touch all of the hearts, all of the souls of all beings on this planet at this time. Feel that peace. Know that this is what we came here for, dear hearts, and you've just walked across the bridge and you've left aspects of you behind. This is a time for total trust and faith that the universe will provide. And this is about God's plan. It's not about humans' plan. And when we let go of the ego and we let go of the mind and we trust the bigger purpose, all things come together with grace and ease. So now, dear hearts, you have all just taken part in a very significant healing and transmission for humanity. Feel the peace within you. Be aware that over the next few days there may be many tears that will come. Know that you are being held, that you are not alone, and that this is part of shedding all that no longer serves. And once the intensity of those emotions pass, you come into this place of joy. And once those emotions have passed, that feeling of joy will grow within you. Know, dear hearts, that all is well, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and so it is. It's pretty bloody good. So I'm just going to now finish off with this little thing. How did you feel with that? And I've probably pushed a lot of buttons, because I've touched on parts of us that have been wounded, like parts of us that have been wounded and that we haven't gone in there, because so there could be some tears over the next few days. And if you need help processing, just let me know, because it's all part of the process. We have to break down to break through, and we have to be able to feel that freedom inside of us to be able to move forward into this new world, because this is what we're co-creating, a world free of fear. So this is the poem that I wrote. Hi, Jessie. This is a poem I wrote after I came through the process, and then I've just got a little dedication I would like to send for Martin to be sent off out to the planet. So this is the second part of the poem. The iron fist and the velvet glove. After the fire comes the flow. There was a time when love was a battlefield, when words cut deeper than wounds, and survival meant building armour over tenderness. But even armour melts. Even rage, when met with truth, becomes light. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, I discovered the power within the paradox. The iron fist in the velvet glove, strength that protects and softness that restores. Then came the waves, the grief, the rage, the breaking. Every surge pulled memories from the marrow. Every fear washed fragments of the past back to source. This is how my body remembers. This is how it purifies. When we stop resisting the storm, emotion becomes motion, energy returning to flow. There's no shame in trembling, sobbing, or surrender. This is what healing looks like when the armour falls away. And when the final wave subsides, there is silence, stillness, and peace. Not the peace of denial, but the peace of reclamation, the kind that only arrives when the fire has burned away illusion and water has cleansed the soul. If you're walking through your own fire, if the waves still crash within you, know this. You're not breaking down, you're breaking free. Let the fire transform you, let the water carry you home. And this is just for Martin. So his funeral is on Thursday. Thank you so much you were one of the great loves of my life, and you were my great teacher. And thank you for my beautiful children and the beautiful light that they bring to the planet, even though they're not aware of it yet. They're shining light. So thank you for that darkness turning to light. I release you into the arms of the universe with love so steady it can never be broken. Wherever you go, my love walks with you. Whatever you see, may it bring peace and completion. And when the final word is spoken, may we all be released into healing. And so it is. So that was my feeling to do today. And just bless them, honor them, go through allow yourself to feel it. You've got to feel it to heal it, and you've got to break down to break through. And if anybody wants any help to go through a really deep, intense process really, really fast and get to the other side and save years, this has taken me 24 years just for, this is it. Let me know. And so I hope that's been helpful. And what is it? Memories that have been pushed on. Yeah, it was full on. It's meant to be full on, because healing's not about unicorns and rainbows. And that's what people tend to think. Healing is actually dirty, and it's hard, and it hurts, and it pulls you to pieces. And, it was pretty intense. But that's, this is the stuff that we've carried in our bodies. So I hope it's been helpful. So I'll just see if I've missed any comments there. Diane, sorry, I know you said something there, Diane, but I've lost the thing. It's dropped down. I love you too, Mia. Thanks. I'm feeling gorgeous from the inside out. Thank you. Okay, so so this is all the emotions that we've stressed, and I highly recommend, getting a cushion and screaming your ass off, because I tell you what, it's one of the most freeing things you can do, and that's part of the breath work that we do, the 9D breath work. But it's just the most freeing thing, because you've got to move the energy out of your body. You've actually, like doing the healing and stuff is all well and good, but you've actually physically got to move it out of your body. So, and it reconnects you with your spirit, stops you being numb, and it brings you back to your vibrant. So I hope that's been helpful. It was pretty random, but I'm here like a mad professor. That's woohoo, that's how I am. I hope that's been helpful, and just be aware that over the next few days you may feel emotional. You may feel old things coming up, like resentment or whatever. Just acknowledge those emotions wherever it is in the body. And I'm so sorry you have so much resentment. I'm so sorry you're so angry. Give it compassion, because once you give those emotions compassion, they free, and it frees you up as well too. So let me know your thoughts, and I'm just feeling fucking awesome, and I'm just know that we are coming into days away. I can literally feel it, like days away, the abundance. So bring it on. And it's the abundance of the heart. We have so earned this. So sending you all so much love, and if it was a bit ferocious, well, that's just me, because I'm a dragon, and we've got to breathe fire to walk through the fire. So sending you lots of love, and I will talk to you all very, very, very soon. And let me know if you need any support working through stuff, because that's what I'm here for. Sending you lots of love.